What's it like to be a pilot? How do you become a pilot? What is your circadian rhythm? All this next on Cabin Pressure with Sean and G.
Prepare for takeoff.
Hey everyone, welcome. This is Cabin Pressure.
What up? What up? What up?
I was waiting for that one, man.
You know I had to come in with another
Oh
one,
my
right?
God, what is going on this week, man? The weather is absolutely freaking gorgeous outside.
The weather right now in Northeast Ohio is amazing, and I am just loving it.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I'm doing that photography class right now, and I got this doing this thing on sustainability, and it's just been great to be out there taking pictures. And I just drive around the countryside taking these pictures and stuff, and put all the shit together. But we're not gonna get into that. But it's gonna be beautiful weather. Beautiful weather. But hey, I was talking the other day to the wife and to one of our friends and stuff, and we were talking about sleeping and how important sleeping is, and we got in this conversation. I was just like, you know what, a lot of people don't take sleeping seriously. They don't think that sleeping is important in their life. They just buy these little, $100 beds and sleep on these boards. And I'm thinking 1/3 of your life you're spending sleeping. What do you think about that?
A lot more people sleep than anything else. Seriously, you talk about a lot of these flight attendants. A lot of them, all they do is talk about the sleep that they don't get. Right on layovers. But you know what I found out with that, Sean? Truly is this is for me, because I don't sleep that much anyway.
Right, you 3-4 hours a night, some of that.
I'm a deep sleeper, so you better talk to me before I get my ass in that bed, because as soon as I get in the bed, I'm out. I'm checked out.
Oh yeah.
But the big thing, what I found out with that is a long time ago, this is what I started doing. I don't think about how many hours of sleep I get. I never do. And what I found is when I don't think about it, I just go to bed, and it doesn't matter what time I go to bed or what time that I get up. I do not think about how many hours of sleep I get, and I sleep so much better because I don't think about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge sleeper. I'm a bear. I can knock out 10 hours. That's just no problem. A lot of people can't stay in bed that long.
But a lot of times, though, do you think that you think about how many hours of sleep you need?
No. I don't normally do that. But in the airline business is I started thinking about this. It is super important, our sleep, because we're always in these different time zones and flying around the world, different places, and the circadian rhythm of your body is just it's wild. So I pulled up this little chart. You can't see this chart, but it was just an example of the circadian rhythm of everything. And one of the things it said, it was there's these highlights to everything. And the one thing that kind of jumped out to me is at 9 o'clock in the morning is the highest testosterone level.
I'm disagreeing with that one.
And at 8:30, you have a bowel movement likely. So, I mean,
that might be true, but the 9 o'clock part, no, I'm disagree with that one.
It's circadian, I got a rhythm to me. I got a rhythm as well. We all have our body rhythm as far as sleep and how we function and all that stuff. And, I don't normally take a shit at 8:30. It's pretty earlier than that. But every time I get home off a trip, it's like clockwork, right?
And that testosterone depends on what you're thinking.
Right, exactly. Right. But hey, it was interesting, but I got to thinking, I'm people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their car, a car. You're going to be spending 1% of your life in this car, and they'll spend tons and tons of money, but they won't spend any money on their bed.
Nope.
They're going to spend a third of their life sitting on a bed. And, I invest in a major bed. I got one of those Tempur-Pedics, adjustable beds, all this stuff, does all this crazy stuff. But I highly recommend people think about your sleep is super important and to your health. and your lifespan. So it was just something that kind of get it. And then the other thing that came up was I was like, what the hell happened to waterbeds?
Anybody, yeah, but you know something. Go back. I know I had a waterbed.
You had a waterbed?
Oh, I did. Now the waterbed, it was great initially, and then I had all kinds of back problems.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of sucked.
Well,
and then it got cold too because you get
the
really
heater
cold
went out.
Oh yeah, you get cold in those things.
Hey, did you ever wake up in your waterbed and you were wet? And I'm not saying like a wet dream.
Testosterone thing again, because I don't know where you're going with this. We went from rhythms to waterbeds to motion.
This is all centered around this sleep thing. Okay. It was just like it got me thinking.
Kind of reeling it back in.
Yeah, we're reeling it back in. But anyways, that's what I've been doing. Normal, same.
But touch on that one more thing with that too is when you lay over and you go into hotel rooms. Sucky beds, sucky sleep.
Oh,
right?
Bullshit.
I mean, because you sink in the middle of it. You don't have a good bed. It's not firm. And it just sucks. And you go on the other one, and it's just as bad as that one.
And that's why it's so important. Like when we get home, we need a good bed.
Yeah,
spend some money on your bed.
Exactly, because you want your testosterone level going up at 9 o'clock. Because at 8:30, this is just dump at 8:30, but your testosterone is at 9. It's kind of jacked up. I don't know.
This is just an example. Everyone's different, this is an example. But
okay, an example that you went to the bathroom at 8:30, your testosterone level was at 9.
Yeah, and then at what does it say here? At about 9 o'clock at night, it says that bowel movement is suppressed.
We're starting off the show talking about shit.
Right. Well, this is what we talk about shit on this show.
We do.
Right?
Yes.
Anyways, what you been up to?
Panama City, man. Okay, listen, first of all, 3-day trip again.
Yeah, you're such a junior puke now.
No, it was worth a lot of money. If I'm doing it, it was worth a lot of money. But let me tell you, I paid for that shit because flying down to Panama City, man, Sean, I'm telling you, it's like a whole different world on board that airplane.
Dude, it's a third world country.
It is a freaking whole different world, man. I mean, you get on the plane, nobody listens to shit.
No.
Nobody listens to a damn thing that you're saying. I don't care when you say it, how you say it, language speaker, not language speaker. They don't listen to shit.
It's like there's like zero respect for authority down there. I mean, that's how I kind of feel. You get in, like anything goes into Panama. You get off the plane.
That part of the country, though. Not just there. That part of the country.
Well, Central America is a little loose. That's one way to say it, right?
Just a little bit. Right. But the other thing was crazy down there. All the high rises, skyscrapers, all that stuff. When you go, just that skyline when you're driving downtown Panama City. Man, oh man, it is freaking crazy. Yeah. Those buildings, some of those buildings are so freaking close. I swear to God, you could reach out and you could touch somebody's balcony.
Hey, not to mention there's some cool ass architecture there.
They do. They got
some of those buildings and stuff.
Yeah, they got like a corkscrew one. Yeah, the architectural stuff. But then, okay, they have those really cool buildings, and then over, if you were like on floor 1 or floor 2, and you're looking out, then all of a sudden there's like all this shit. I mean, it's just poverty. It's just poverty. It's
a city and like embedded in filth.
It's unbelievable. And then you're looking at the bay. You're like, oh, okay, I got this beautiful water view.
Right.
Not so beautiful.
No, yeah, because there's about 100,000 freaking container ships out there waiting to go through the canal.
And some of them are just literally broken down out there.
Right.
I mean, they're upside down.
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But what I did find though is that the buildings are actually really cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
I mean, they have some really cool buildings there. But yeah, I mean, it was Panama City, and no, my ass will not be going back for a while. I mean, it cured me. I mean, seriously, that flight, it cured me.
The one beautiful thing about being a flight attendant is this. We get to see the world, and we get to see all different levels of the world. And what it does for me is it makes it more respectful, full of what I have here in America.
Got to say one more thing too. When I came back through, Sean, I'm not shitting you, through security, not even here. I swear to God, I thought I was going to be in my boxers real
Right.
soon. Belt. I'm like, what do you need my wallet out for? And I was like, belt, wallet, take your sweater off. I'm like, next thing you know, I'm going to be taking this whole damn uniform off, standing there in my boxers.
Yes. Well, they maybe wanted you to.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of naked people running through airports lately.
Yeah, well, they gave the other guy a pat down. One of the other flight attendants, he had a bad hip.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's a life of a flight attendant. But anyways, yeah. Hey, we wanted to welcome on our show our guest. This week we got a guest. We brought in a pilot, a very close friend of ours, John. He's been a pilot for some time, and we just wanted to welcome him.
This is one of the coolest freaking dudes flying. That was flying. I mean, straight out, man. And love flying with him many years. And I'm so glad that he's here today.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. I was just listening to your whole intro there and thinking, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I've never been on a podcast, and actually, not very many people find what I have to say very interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think you're underestimating yourself. You know what? Yeah. One of the things about a podcast is that people think, this is like super high tech, and you have to be, there's all this like important shit happening. There really isn't. There's just us bullshitting, right?
Yeah.
And that's
like
what we're going to do.
It's like me and you in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Right?
It's nice. I mean, but you guys make everybody feel at home. So
good. Yeah. Hey, so, one of our first questions, John, is this: how'd you become a pilot, and how'd you get started in aviation?
Well, I think you and I had discussed it at one time. For sure, Gary and I have discussed it. But when I was 4 years old, 4 or 5, was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I remember my dad took me to the county fair, and they were given helicopter rides, and it was a Bell 47, which is like a MASH style helicopter.
Is that like what they used to call what's the Vietnam helicopter they're talking about?
A Huey?
Yeah, Huey. Is it?
Oh no, it was like that? It's the precursor to all that
okay,
stuff.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't get no damn credit for knowing as a Huey.
What's that?
I didn't get any credit for knowing as a Huey, but go ahead, John.
Well, that was good.
Star for G.
Yeah. No, it's more like, did you ever see the TV show MASH?
Oh, yeah. The bubble.
So at the beginning with the bubble one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha.
So my dad actually paid for a ride, and we went for a ride in it. And I just remember looking down and seeing all the little roads and little cars and all that stuff.
Love it.
And I thought, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And then I had an uncle who was a World War II vet who flew for the Navy. And he would come into town every once in a while with his reserve stuff, and I'd get to go out to the airport and walk through the airplanes. And so I always thought, something I want to do.
This is cool.
And it got real nerdy too. I mean, when I was
wait.
When
I'm just gonna stop right there because I haven't met too many non-nerd pilots.
Oh, good. So I fit into your category.
My preconception of pilots,
That's fair.
But you're a cool nerd.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. And thanks for letting me hang with the cool kids.
Right.
I do
He's like sitting in the front of the bus. Well, actually, he's always in the front of the bus.
He's always in the front of the bus. He's always been driving the bus. Right.
Oh, that's good. So I mean, I can remember as a kid even being sick at home. My parents had a box fan, one of those things that had the wheels and I would put it at the end of the bed, turn it on, and pretend I was flying.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's when you're like blowing in that thing going, oh,
Luke. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, you had to do that too. Use the force.
Yeah. The force is with you.
Right.
But something what I love about the helicopter story, though? Could you imagine a kid today getting put on a helicopter and at a state fair?
Yeah.
That freaking, that parent would be dead. That mom would kill that dad.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the concern level, I'm like, is this safe and blah 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 today, like
I love that part of your story.
The shit we did back when we were kids, all the stuff. And I totally can relate because I've been on a helicopter many times, and I just it is amazing. And the first time, my wife's a pilot, and the first time she went on a helicopter, we were together and we were actually out in Hawaii, and she took off in that thing, and at first she was like, "Oh, this is terrible. We're gonna, this is bad safety records. They crashed, blah blah blah, and all this stuff." And then she got done with the ride, and she's like, "I think I might want to get typed for a helicopter."
Did she?
No, she did not. But she was. But I mean, that's the feeling, like the euphoria of the whole situation, and it's not totally different in fixed wing, right?
No, not at all. I mean, there's different facets to it, obviously, but I took lessons and I soloed in it, and then I ran out of money. So lessons
that
kind of
can
went
happen.
on. Yeah, it was pretty expensive at the time.
That's a lot of pilot stories, right?
Yeah,
They run out of money when they're young.
Oh man, it can be a very expensive, expensive hobby.
Especially when you're getting into it, right?
It really is. Yeah.
So go on from there. So then, how did you become a pilot after
So then I had a little lawn mowing business, and one of the houses that I got to do, the guy was the father of 2 daughters at the time. They didn't show an interest in aviation, but he flew on the weekends, and he found out that I was interested in flying. So he took me to the airport, and I would get to kind of pre-plan the night before the flights. He kind of explained it to me, and I got the books and read. And,
Oh, cool.
And then we go out, and he would let me fly with him. And it was like that kind of spurred the interest on. So then I took it from there. I saved my money up, and I rode my bike out to the local airport and signed up for ground school, because that was all, it was even expensive back then. Now, comparatively speaking, it's not, but back then it was for a kid making $2 an hour.
Oh, heck yeah.
So I went ahead and signed up for the ground school, and I would spend every day I could get out there. I'd do the ground school. And then I started bothering the owner of the airport, and I just said, "Hey, is there any work you need done? Could I help out or do this and that?"
Sure.
And, nice guy. I'm a big believer that everybody needs a break in life, and he was one of my first breaks,
That's cool.
And so he watched me, but he was waiting until I was turning 16, because I was like 15 and a half at that point.
Okay, yeah.
So as soon as I got of age where he could do it, he hired me, and I was a line boy, where you basically did everything. You mowed the grass.
Gopher. You're a gopher.
Exactly right. Exactly right. But you learned a lot.
Right.
Most people were very nice about passing on knowledge and things in all aspects of it. And,
especially in the aviation industry, I will tell you, like in my 35 years, like I was enamored about being a pilot and all this stuff. Like I grew up in a very similar story, not identical, of course, but I had the enthusiasm to do it too, but I just didn't do it. That's my story. But but at the same time, it's like you think about all the people. I think about all the people that I've crossed, and every time I've ever brought a story up saying, "Hey, I'm interested in aviation," pilots are always like, "Hey,
because I think it's a love. Just we all love aviation.
Yeah, the
we want to
passion.
do what we do. And so I think it's the love of aviation first that gets you into it. I think if you're motivated by other things, it can be a really long career.
Sure.
If you have that deep down love for it, it makes up for a lot of the frustrating nights like you guys were talking about in your last podcast.
Yeah.
So when was your actually first flight that you took?
Where I was taking a lesson?
Yeah.
It would have been, 1975.
75.
So how old were you?
15 and 3/4 when I started the lessons.
Now, what did a lesson cost back then?
It'll make it'll laugh. I was trying to think of that the other night. I think it was $13 an hour.
Hey,
dual.
But you were working for $2, right?
Right.
Okay,
And,
John, what's today's price?
I've checked with people, and it's like $150 an hour.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on those prices.
You're in the range because, right down the street here, I've investigated myself because I'm thinking about one bucket list. I got to get my privates, but it depends on the plane and the size and all that stuff, what you want to do it in. But I'd say somewhere in that 150 range is, that's
right
center.
And you figure 35 hours minimum for an approved school, or 40 if you're an unapproved school, but everybody runs up into the 60-hour range probably on average to get a license.
Yeah, to get you to that point where the instructor's ready for you to be checked off.
So I went out. I started when I was 15. That would have been about 75, somewhere in there. And I remember waiting to actually solo, because you had to be 16 to solo the airplane, and my parents.
Oh, wow. So you had gotten...
My parents took me on, we went on a vacation, once in a lifetime vacation. And the whole time we're in Hawaii, I'm like, I want to get back because I'm turning 16. I want to solo, So
That's awesome.
We did come back, and I soloed a couple days after my 16th birthday. And I guess still remember the day. It was right at the local airfield here. And that's something you'll always remember,
Yeah. And so most 16-year-olds are looking for their driver's license.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, true.
You're wanting to get on a plane.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm still sitting there thinking, damn, at 15, his parents took me to Hawaii.
It was
that's pretty damn good,
full
too.
disclosure. I had an uncle lived on the West Coast, and he flew our family out there. I have a sister.
okay.
Oh, you had the
my
rich
mom
uncle.
and dad.
Right. Gotcha.
Well-to-do. That's
awesome.
So he took us out there, but I just laugh now thinking about, here I want to cut that short so I could get home. And,
Right. Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so then from there, I just built up, as you know, probably from your wife's perspective, and you've looked into it too. So you just go up from there. You get a private license, and then you work on your instrument, your commercial. CFI typically is the next route, so that now you have people paying you to go out and
so you're going to be
really
teaching.
learn about aviation.
Yeah.
And then flew charter. And then I got my first another nice break from the airport because I was working every day basically, and I'd come back from school when I went off to college. I would come back on the weekends and still work there and flight instruct. And there was a guy that owned a local company, and I had heard that they had purchased an airplane, a big airplane.
Cool.
And so I said, "Hey, are you ever going to hire any co-pilots, first officers for that?" And
Sure.
he was like, "Oh, is that something you want to do?" And he was just a great guy, an old World War II guy, and stuff.
Okay.
And he said, "Oh, okay." Well, the next day I got a call from their chief pilot.
Awesome.
And they were just kind of starting up their flight department. And so that was my break. And I got to go there. I was the young punk kid, and got to fly with some amazing older guys,
That's great.
And it just went from there. So I flight instructed, and as anything, it's building time.
Right.
You go from single engine airplanes, then you want to fly multi-engine airplanes. And so I was fortunate from the standpoint in my instructing. I was a multi-engine instructor, so I was able to build some time there.
Okay.
And then I got this job corporately, and then I went full-time with them, and it was just a great adventure. I did get laid off, just like the airline industry, but while
I think we've all been laid off at some point in our life. Or to me, mine was fired, but I mean, that's a nice word.
Laid off.
You never got laid off?
No, hell no.
Oh, I feel like I've had so many jobs in this, in my lifetime and stuff. I've definitely been asked to leave.
Yeah.
Well, sitting here with you long enough, I can understand why.
Oh yeah, right.
No, but you know something, John? Hey, question for you. Just back then, with being a young first officer, was it different in the cockpit? I mean, were they pretty regiment? I mean,
Are you talking when I finally went with the airlines?
Yeah,
corporate.
Well, even corporate, but was it pretty regiment? Because when they looked at pilots back then, I mean, they really looked high with upon them, and it seemed like they did things a little different back then.
They did, and I think it was more, the captain was the captain, and you were just basically. What was your term about when I said a jack of all trades?
Yeah,
whatever. But you kind of you kind of were under his tutelage, and that could be good or bad. If he was a good guy,
he was. You were like a gopher pilot,
right?
That was the word.
That's the word.
And if he wasn't a good guy, it could be not that good. I've been fortunate in my career. Mostly everybody's been pretty good.
Oh, good.
So
here's my question. Like, what was the time span? So from that 15 3/4 age kid to the time that you actually got your first pilot job, what was that time span?
Let's see, because I'm still in high school and this and that. So that would have been 80-ish. Let's see. Probably 7 years.
7 years.
Of beating around doing the flight instructing charter, stuff to get to a entry-level position with a good company where you'd consider it actually a good job.
Right.
And
Now, did that time fly? Did it go quick or
you know how it is when you're a young person.
Right.
You know, you kind of wish life away a little bit, unfortunately. But it seemed to just be slow because I knew what my goal was.
Right.
You know, which is I wanted to work for the airlines. But as I look back on it, no, it was really an enjoyable time. I don't think it was particularly.
Right.
Because it was an adventure. Everything you did, you know, each milestone was.
Sometimes I think when that happens, though, right? It does go by kind of fast, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
because it just in life, I notice even with our job is in the airlines, it kind of flies by. You know,
does.
The days kind of fly by.
What I find fascinating about the pilot, the job, is that there's no one path.
True.
You know, that there's no one like, this isn't like if I want to be a doctor, these are the things I have to do and the steps I have to get to do there. And yeah, they might have some different experiences, what they're in their training varying a little, but they're all learning the same exact thing. And the pilots are doing the same thing, but the paths are so different.
That's very true. You know, I mean, when I came up, the two routes were military or civilian.
Right.
Civilian required a lot of just stick-to-itiveness where you go out and kind of put yourself out there. And I mean, there was a time in my career when I got laid off from the corporate job for a little bit. I was flying for everybody. You know, people would call you up and go, "Hey, you ever flown this kind of airplane?" And I would just go, "Well, sure." You know, and go out. And then the night before, you'd look through the manual, and there were a lot of markings and placardings on the airspeed indicator and on the panel where you could pretty much figure everything out.
Sure.
You know, and
John's version of Air America.
There you go.
a lot of truth in that. So you got that kind of route, and then you get the military route, you know, where you're giving up years, 7 years, I guess, is the commitment at first, and you got to go to flight training and do that. Well, I had 20/25 vision. So at the time, it's now gone back the other way. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But so that was not a route for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was one of my as a kid. So I was the grow up military brat and had fantasized about being a pilot, and I had terrible vision. And when I could only think or envision military, so as soon as that dream got crushed by you can't be a pilot with those eyes with I just literally gave it up.
And it's too bad too.
And and there's so many people out there that, I think it's important for people to understand that in today's world, military and the civilian way to become a pilot, you can do it with a lot of different, not past, inabilities. If you have bad vision, you don't have to necessarily be, Maverick. You're not out there being you're not going to be Top Gun and all this stuff. Yeah. Because you don't have the perfect body.
Oh, you're talking about with the military.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
For any flying, really. I mean, so there's, requirements with the FAA that you have to get a medical, even it doesn't matter if you go military or not.
But colorblind, you still can't be, right?
I don't know.
You know what? I honestly have to look into it because I never have, but I think that they have a waiver for that.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. There's some, so for people that are out there that are inspiring to want to be a pilot, don't let those things discourage you. It's really my point.
Not. Absolutely not. Exactly what you're saying. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, keep going.
But, an airline captain, to fly a captain on a 121 carrier, you have to have a first class medical certificate.
Right.
You don't have to have perfect vision for a first class medical certificate. I think it's correctable to that.
Correct.
So I would never let anything stop you from, if it's something that you want to do, just go do it. That's the best part of this country. You can be whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
And granted, there's probably higher hurdles for some people than others, but I had my parents didn't pay a dime towards my flying. I just worked it out. And
I
said, I was fortunate enough to have people come along that gave me the opportunity to earn what I did. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? That's to put this in perspective for younger listeners that are, that's networking. He was networking when you were hustling out there trying to he earned it.
No. I know.
But he was hustling to do it. Right?
I know that. But what I'm saying is that when you're saying about the young people, this is what I'm saying. Sean said he was hustling. I'm saying he earned the shit. He earned it. He went out and he worked his ass off and he earned it, because so many kids in the world today, they don't earn their stuff. They want it free, but you went out and earned it. And that's what, I mean, I appreciate that more than anything when somebody tells me that they were mowing grass and doing stuff and they earned that. And even if it was $2, it didn't matter if it was $2. He was earning $2, paying $13.50, but he still earned the $13.50 for the hour. You earned it.
Right.
I mean, and today that's what these kids need to, that you can still do this, but you're still going to have to go earn it.
Yeah,
you can't just have it given to you.
I think another term for that is pay your dues.
Yeah,
you got to pay your dues.
And we all had to do that growing up, no matter what the career choice you make.
Yeah, nothing's going to be given to you in this world. I mean, there's very few people that are like, even with these the younger generation think that I can become a millionaire sitting at home working from home and things like that. All these get rich quick schemes. Everyone here that we're sitting right here talking has been through that. Hey, I want to make a lot of money quick, right? I mean, we've all done that, but it's like the bottom line is you have to work for it. So, John, what are some myths about pilots that you think that are out there that you might want to debunk?
Well, I guess one of the myths, particularly in the airline industry, is that like Gary alluded to it, flying down to Panama, that you get down there, it's late, you're tired. All this. Everybody has the opinion that like we go places and it's one big party.
Oh yeah.
And I would say that's the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I'm sure there are people that are more outgoing than I am, like on a layover type basis. But if there was like a site you wanted to see, like the Winchester Mansion is an off the wall thing out in Sacramento. Yeah, I'd take the time on one trip to do that. But then when you're doing it month after month, one hotel room becomes a lot like the other hotel room.
Wow.
I think that's a myth with the whole airline industry that we have this big vacation life and all we do is go to our layovers, we go to these fancy dinners, go drink, go party. No, that ain't it, right? We're looking maybe for something to eat. We're looking for is our room clean, right?
Right.
It's
a big one.
Yeah, and heading to bed.
That's pretty much what I mean. Like
our ass is tired most of the time, right?
We're trying to get that sleep. We're right back to that whole conversation.
Right.
we want to get that rest to be able to because we got another long day ahead of us. Because on average, I mean, in an airline career, our average work day, I feel like is like a 12-hour work day.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean that they don't really tell you that because we're really focused on like flight hour and all that stuff. But when you look at the real big picture of like an airline, doesn't matter, flight attendant, pilot, whatever, we have 12-hour days, 10, 12-hour days average. That's the normal day. 8-hour day is definitely the exception,
right?
Because they push you as much as they can push you, right? Until they can't break any more rules,
right?
It's basically how it works.
Undoubtedly. Yeah. And then you sit there and you tell people, well, how much do you fly? And you tell them, say, 80 hours a month. I know certain people do a lot more than that, but
he's talking about me.
Yeah.
Right. G's a whole nother animal.
Yeah. But what they don't understand is that's flight hours. That's actually from when we get off the gate to, get back into the gate. And there's all that other time, all that other stuff that we have to do.
Sitting around.
Let's be honest though. It's for a pilot though. And this is where I'm gonna give you the props. There's a shitload more to it than it is. I mean, no, we have a tough job back in the back, no kidding. But man, when you're flying into that shit and that weather is really bad, and you earn your money. You earn your money. I mean, you guys, you earn your money because sometimes the stress level is pretty high. Because you not only got to watch what you do, you also got to watch that person over you because you're a captain too.
So John, that leads me to another question: is that like, tell me, like, walk me through like what's a day in a pilot's life like? How do you start and end the day?
Typically, like the night before, you're going to go out on a pairing the next day. So you kind of get an idea of what the weather system's affecting what your route's going to be. So you've got an idea when you go to bed what you're probably going to face in the morning. And then you get up, it's just like you guys, all us flight crew people, we all just get up, probably 3 hours before our departure time because we live fairly close. Some people commute, which even adds more to the day. But for us, it was probably 3 hours before, and then right away, first thing I do is open the iPad and see, well, what does the weather look like?
Yeah,
And,
so the iPad's your manual.
right. And then a couple hours before the company, we have a dispatch department, which is the folks that have all the really high-tech equipment to look at the weather, forecasts, everything. They've been talking to flights shift to shift, so they've got a perspective of the other crews that have gone through the routes. Well, they've formulated a flight plan for you.
Okay.
And then as the crew, we look at it. We'll meet in ops typically an hour before the flight, meet up, and then go over it together. You know, in our case, obviously, two people on the airplane we were on.
Right.
Some of the international flights have 3 to 4
Right.
crew members on board. But they'll all meet together. They'll discuss the flight, look at the weather. They'll discuss possible problems in the back, which you guys might alert us to, things like that. And then once everybody's comfortable from the standpoint of they think that, all right, this is our best course of
It's good to
action
go.
today. It's good to go. The airplane's good. We sign it off and we're on our way. And,
Okay.
And then it's the variables, as you guys all know, the variables that you guys have to deal with.
Right.
know.
So that's super interesting for people that are listening. Like it's like, people don't realize that like pilots, like every flight, and we've been talking about this many times on our show and stuff, every flight, there's, all these people going through this stages, these work plans and stuff like that. And each person has a plan. And from the pilot's perspective, like you have that brief before you, that hour before and all that stuff, that's super interesting for people to understand that we get basically, you get a snapshot of everything that's getting ready to happen. Mm-hmm. And you got to approve that or not approve it.
Right.
Right.
And we're fortunate because the latter part of my career here was in a small base, and
Right.
usually like inbound airplanes, if it's not the first thing out in the morning, you'll get an update from them, particularly if we're all flying the same kind of route, and that was very helpful too. So,
yeah. So we get to talk to each other in the crews, like, and I know as flight attendants, we do the same thing in the back. Like we're hey, is this a good plane in the back, or no, we got a shitty coffee maker in back, and
Right.
then this doesn't work that great, but it's there.
And you alluded to the fact. I mean, it seems like it just comes down to the flight crew when it. And when I say flight crew, I'm saying you guys, that's the flight crew.
Right.
And so it's the people only see us as the flight crew.
Sure.
And of course, they see customer service too, but we're the bottom line people. But what it takes to get that airplane off the gate, the amount of people that are in the background doing things to make that work is phenomenal.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
What I think is amazing, though, and you just alluded to all this, is people had no idea that these guys start this the night before. You started the night before, not the day of, the night before. Then, and what John just told you is this: they haven't even got on the plane yet.
Right.
They're not even been on the plane. So, John, tell them okay, so you got to the point now that you did all this. So you're going to the plane. Tell them a little bit about what goes on then, because there's a lot there.
Yeah, so you walk to the gate, and typically the first people you see are the customer service reps or the rest of the crew when we all meet up there.
Right.
And so most of the time, customer service will just update us on any people that we need to know special things about. And then you'll meet the crew. We go down, and then we all brief. You guys have certain needs that I have no idea about unless you clue me in on it, and
Sure.
And vice versa. And it became old hat for us because once again, small base.
We're family.
We are.
Yeah.
And
We started working together, and we're like, we know each other's actions
everybody
and stuff.
knows
Right.
what to expect from each other. You know?
All of our idiosyncrasies and shit,
Right.
different shit,
And so then we go down. Typically, maintenance will be there, and they'll kind of update us on the airplane because they've either worked on it at night if there was any kind of issue. It goes through their checks and things. They'll stop by and say hi, let us know if there's anything of issue that we need to know about. If we have a problem, we can call them. They come right out, and we all have the goal of getting those folks out on time, get them down to their destination
Yeah.
safely.
And there's just a lot of stuff going on, and people just, and this is,
And
to me, is
the checks that go on in that cockpit, people, you have no idea. There's an extensive checklist that goes on.
And then, and you guys know this, but and maybe other people don't, but as a crew up front in the cockpit, we alternate every other leg. So it just depends on, it depends on how the captain wants to run it. But I would typically just ask the first officer, hey, what leg do you want? And he'd start or I'd start. And based upon that, I would go out and do the walk around on the airplane to recheck what has already been checked by maintenance, but we would just do a cursory check to make sure everything's as it should be. And the other guy would be in the cockpit loading the flight computers and getting the airplane basically ready to go.
Now here's a little shout out because John has flown with the same person for a long time. So a little shout out to Chris. You out there? Yeah, a little shout out to him. Now, John, tell me exactly. It's funny because I know Chris really well, but what is it like to know that person is next to you, right? And as well as you had known him.
It just makes it work. It's the same thing I'm sure you guys deal with, when my door's closed.
Sure.
In the back, it's just all the difference in the world when you know what to expect. I mean, every airline has SOPs, right?
Sure.
And SOPs make it so that if a crew member comes from a West Coast base and comes to our base and he's paired next to me or paired next to you, we know what the basics are that should be expected.
Right. The standard operating procedures of the airline that we're working with.
Right. But to go beyond that, when you have somebody that you're just well in tune with, it just makes it work so much better.
I've been a firm believer in, over our career, we've merged with airlines and all that stuff, and we all each have our own history. But the one thing in my training that I think that has been so important that I hope and wish more airlines will do this is that camaraderie and that experience of working together is so important to the safety level of your aircraft. I mean, and sometimes I feel like the bigger the airlines get, sometimes that kind of dissipates, but we always have the SOPs to fall back that keeps us all safe.
Right.
You just don't find this anymore. I mean, what you guys had, I mean, as far as flying together, because trust me, we've known these guys for a while, but you just don't have that anymore. You don't have that same feeling when you hit the airplane, because we have the faith in you guys, and you guys have the faith in us, and it works, right?
Yep.
It really works, and that's amazing part, and for you, it's got to be so nice that you already know that guy next to you, how good he is.
Yes, yeah,
you know how good he is.
But it's the same in the back too. I mean, G and I working together is the same as you and Chris,
right?
And I don't have to verbally say things to him because we've known each other so long, and our body language and reaction and just a look, we know how to react.
That's a much better way of saying what I was trying to say. Yeah. Wow. I'm mesmerized over here at this point. No, but that's true.
That is the dynamic of having that crew coordination that I just I so love when I'm with those people, and I know you as flying a plane, your confidence level goes up too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you feel like somebody's got my back.
Right.
I mean, the being pilot in command is a heavy weight.
And like you said, you know what to expect. It's not an unexpected thing. I mean, even when you fly, like in my case with people I haven't flown with before, I mean, you're always kind of give them benefit of the doubt and all that. Every once in a while, even guys you've flown with will catch you off guard because you get pretty comfortable with them.
Sure.
So it's
But that's the same thing for you, right? I mean, as a pilot, even with your flight attendants, what Sean was saying, if there was a problem going on in the back of the aircraft and you knew that we were back in the back of the aircraft, did you ever worry about it?
Not at all.
See, that's a difference, right?
No, and it's great because with that camaraderie of us, and you know what to expect. You know what to expect from me. I know what to expect from you guys. You guys just handle it, and it's just makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
You just said it well.
Right.
I mean, it's just a well-oiled machine.
Anybody that's in any type of work industry, it doesn't matter where you're at. And if you have a crew that you're working with, you have to, it's always easier to work in that environment when you have experience and a camaraderie and a connection.
So yeah.
I got a go ahead.
No,
John,
I was just going to say, funny story on that aspect of it is, you guys know that occasionally, like a training center guy will come out and they want to do, bump your your guy you're flying with, and then you get to fly with them, and so I'm unaware of it until it pops up on my screen, and I'm like, wait a minute, where's Chris?
Exactly,
And so I was like, all right, I got to find something out about this guy. Maybe I don't want to fly with this guy.
Right. Right.
Exactly. And the only thing that you missed in your day when you said how your day was, Chris did not bring your coffee and all that stuff that you said. Because Chris usually brings John's coffee.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
He carries Chris. He does. He brings his coffee too.
Chris brings coffee.
He does.
In the morning.
Yeah. That's how close they are.
Though. Remember, Sean used to bring papers.
Exactly. I used to bring a newspaper every day until papers faded away.
But that's what you do though. When you're family and you think that way, that's what you do. You take care of each other, and that is what we do. In our small base, because we are family. That's how we look at each other. Now, but I do have a question. Okay, what do passengers do to pilots that's just it's annoying to you? There's got to be something.
It's funny because Sean gave me a heads up on this stuff, and so I was kind of cursory running them through my mind, and I was like, let's see, that's a tough one.
There's got to be some annoying things out there.
I mean, I could think.
Well, I can tell you right away, and it more is from your guys' aspect. I just like, come on, people. It's simple. Seatbelt signs on. It's not for the fact we want to tell you what to do. It's because if you get flopped around back there, not only you're going to get hurt, but you get hurt when you get thrown on somebody. Yeah. And that person will get hurt even though they're obeying the rules. So it's simple things like that I would get annoyed by. But
all right, you know what mine is? I'm going to straight tell you. I thought I'd seen the pilot in the bar. That's the stupidest damn thing you could ever see. You want to see a pilot? Listen, folks, when you pop in and you say something dumb like that, let me tell you what happened one time. I'm just going to tell you on this, John, because you know that is a dumb comment. I seen a captain get his bag and he walked his ass right off that airplane. And he said, he just accused me of being in the bar and I'm going to get alcohol tested. I said, congratulations, flight just canceled.
Yeah.
You don't have a pilot.
That's good. Had you guys give me that notion, but that's so true because we get that a lot. And typically if there's an incident in the industry, then they all want to be jokesters and say something to you.
Dumb comments.
Words has consequences, and it's people don't get that. Like certain things that you say trigger certain things in the industry. My favorite annoying thing for people to say is like, "Oh, my seat's broken," as we're taxiing out. Well, I could spin this whole aircraft around and we can go back and get your seat corrected, or quit lying to me and bring up your seat.
Well, and when you bring up the lying aspect, I guess that brings me down to the one when you gave me that thought of what your question was going to be, is that when we have a mechanical problem, people think we're lying to them. Yeah. And we're not. I mean, there may be critical things we don't tell, but for the most part, we're being upfront about it. It's not that we wanted to delay the flight or do this on purpose for whatever unknown reason people conjure up. But it amazes me people get mad at us over a mechanical delay, because my thought is, you want us to go with this thing broken?
You're flying on something that's about a 1/4 inch thick, right? That's pressurized at 40,000 feet. Are you freaking kidding me? I know that's stupid comments.
Yeah.
Stupid comments. I mean, I don't care how long I do this job. The one thing I hate is those dumb, stupid comments.
Right.
They make no sense.
You take them with a grain of salt, because we have the experience of like, we can work this out through our experience of dealing with this over and over and over, and realize when people are just being idiots.
Well, some of them are funny, Sean, but some of them are just straight stupid. You know that. I mean, it is, and I get it, but man, some of them, they just need to not say it. Just come on board, sit down.
Sure.
And props to you guys, because I could never do your job. I have to be honest. I mean, I like the fact that you insulate me from that stuff.
We close the door and it's locked.
And, exactly. And so it
between
was,
me and Sean, there's a lot of insulation anyway. So
no, but
sure.
You guys have seen it too. I mean, there are people in the ranks, none that I can cite example of recently, particularly not out of here, but in my earlier days, there were people that could antagonize passengers too.
They hit hot buttons.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, people.
That's kind of like, it goes back to us, like how we know each other and work. You know, we know the people that we work with. Right. So certain, you know, I've had the captains that are, you know, they're the hotheads. You know, all you have to do is say blink to them and they just explode. You know, and then we had the flight attendants do the same thing. You know, like it's that knowing and all that. That's that experience level of us being, especially when you're in a small community like we are. That is so awesome to work in.
Yeah, because let's face it, people, it's very un-American, unfreedomish to put people into a tube,
right?
And then they have to follow a bunch of rules, you know. But it's not. We wrote the rules. We just have to abide by them too. You know?
And the funny thing about it too is that we inform and we don't enforce. That's what really people don't even understand. We don't enforce the rules. We inform them, right? Yeah. Because I mean, if you're going to push it to that extent, you're going to get taken off an aircraft.
Right. I mean, the enforcing the people that are listening, they're thinking, oh, enforcing is remove this from the aircraft. Right. But I mean, in actuality, like we inform you many a times. We treat everybody like a 2-year-old. Yeah. Like we're going to tell you 10 times before you're going to be pulled off that aircraft, unless you do something absolutely out of control. You know, you're going to be violent or something like that. That's understandable. But most of the time, I mean, it's just, you know, you keep pushing until you get our breaking point.
There's a good reason. If you're taking off a plane, man, there's a good reason. You know that, right? I mean, there's a good reason. But big question that we always have from passengers, and I love this one, turbulence. How do you feel about it?
You know, I guess I'm assuming just like you guys, you come basically immune to and used to it. Obviously, if it gets really bad, I think it's very worthwhile for the cockpit to make an announcement to the back end. I'm sorry, I should have said flight deck, but it's my
no. You can say cockpit on the show. You can say the assholes up front or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. You know, that works too. But
the office in the sky, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think it's important because we all believe it or not, there's probably people that are on a flight for a first time. They've never been to the airport, never done anything, and so it's quite the sensation for them.
Right.
I've only had severe turbulence a couple of times, and it's pretty concerning, but you're so busy at that point in the cockpit that, you know, it just kind of goes by. But
sure.
You know, not to sound cowboyish or whatever. I don't know. It's just one of those things you live with.
Right.
You know.
So John, quickly, what exactly is turbulence, though? I mean, for people that are listening, they really don't. We say turbulence, but what's turbulence? Explain
what's causing it.
Well, most of it's jet stream caused. You know, when you get up, particularly during the winter, you have winds coming that can reach 120 at times, 120 knots of wind. And so, if you think about it, I always, you know, we tend to look at these numbers and just rationalize them.
Sure.
But then I always thought to myself, man, can you imagine standing outside our home right now with 120, you know,
I don't want
wind going by?
That's called a tornado.
Right. And so you get shear levels as you go up and down. And that's usually what causes the worst part. And then when you're down low, it's convective heating of the ground. You get different heating levels of, you know, like a parking lot's going to have more rising heat than like a ground, you know, a forest or a lake or things like that. So as you get close to the ground, a lot of it's that. And then, of course, you have the clouds, you know, that are billowing up and things that you're going to hit. So
you're actually, I mean, you take a lot of that in consideration in airports you fly into, though, right?
Yes.
I mean, as far as with the turbulence that's known for those airports?
Particularly, you know, like Denver comes to mind. You know, you can just, I have a sister that doesn't like to fly. She will avoid Denver.
It's always bumpy.
Coming in and out. You got the winds coming off the mountains and mountain wave and, you know, a lot of heat, convective heating. So it can be, disconcerting for somebody that's not.
So for those worried passengers, should they be worried?
No.
Yeah. So what have you ever, like in your career, did you ever have this is the normal question everybody's going to ask. Like, did you ever have a scary situation where you actually was like, it puts you on a little edge.
Somebody else asked me that recently because you always, like you said, you get that a lot.
Right. We get that
And
question.
so I've reflected on it a minute. I've come with age. I don't snap an answer back, you know. And I would say, and this is not to sound to minimize it, but every situation I ever dealt with the airline, I felt properly trained to handle. And I always had somebody there, the input that, you know, we handled it. And it was just kind of, all right, we're in the sim and we're doing it. And let's just handle it.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I think pilots are pilots first, you know.
Sure.
And so we all have the inner feeling of just flying the airplane.
Right.
And so, no, I you know, there was really, I mean, I've had in my corporate career, I had an engine failure that was probably the most exciting coming out of Detroit, you know, and then as a flight engineer, we shut an engine down, went into DC one day, and then the rest of it's all been just like hydraulics or control problems and things like that, but nothing that
nothing major that you had to we had to do an evacuation on a plane or anything.
No.
Right.
Okay, John, explain to the people, because you brought something up and they really don't understand this. I know the sim, right? So when you guys go to training, you go into these sim training, right? And you spend how many hours in there?
So we do it every 9 months, and it's usually with our company. You know, it's a 3-day event on one of them, a 2-day event on the other. And you basically run through the worst case scenarios. They have things that they call their first look, which is they kind of are collecting data to throw a problem at a flight crew and see just off the cuff how they handle it without any practice or training and stuff. So they collect that data, and then the rest of the time is really spent with either what the flavor of the moment is, you know, if there's an incident in the industry, and they try to learn from everything. They'll run us through exercises based on that incident. And then we just have the standard stuff where engine failures and control problems and all that.
Now that sim training, let people know, is that stressful?
It's probably, in my case, I know different people handle it a different way. That was probably my least favorite part of the job, was going out there, and I never had a problem. I never had a problem.
I think that's the majority.
I'm not saying that bragging. I never had a problem. I'm saying that more of it as an example. I would get worked up over it to the point that, you know, I just in my latter years said, "This is ridiculous. Just go do your best and let them critique you and learn from it and move on."
It takes time to get there, though. I mean, and this is the same thing for flight attendants as well. I mean, for those that are listening, you know, flight attendants, typically once a year, we go through this sim training as well, where we do the whole evacuations, all this stuff. But so for pilots, it's different for the position you're in, right? So for first officers in the airline that we worked for, are they every how many months do they have to go?
No, they're the same.
They're the same. Okay.
Yeah, we do the exact same. And
Gotcha.
It's actually treated as a crew event. So we work together as a crew.
So it's always the same training for whether you're FO or captain.
Right. And so like Chris, shout out to Chris. If I ever was lucky enough to go out with Chris, I would know exactly what to expect from Chris and stuff. But to his detriment, if I had a bad day, it reflects on the two of us.
Both,
you know.
Right.
So,
but you know, the thing is, I just want to tell people this is that you guys really don't understand. This sim training actually for these guys is very stressful. Okay, they have to go every 9 months, like John said, but they're evaluated and they're sitting there and watching some of the most serious situations that could happen on an airplane, and you know, and they're constantly being watched, and this is done every 9 months.
Yeah.
And they don't understand how stressful that is. We do, because we know you guys, and we know, you know, when it's that time, you get the amount of time you have to study, right?
Right.
You put a lot of time. How many hours would you say that you put in studying before your sim?
Well, typically for me, and you know, once again, I'll just speak for me, about a month before the event.
A month.
You're gearing up.
I'll start gearing up.
Yeah. Think about that, folks. That's a month.
I'll start looking back through the manual, and a lot of people might go, "Well, don't you know it already?" Well, I don't know. Have you seen those books?
Yeah,
you know?
it's crazy.
There's a lot to learn.
There's a lot of
stuff.
nuanced stuff that you go, oh man, that's right, and you just start trying to do it right. I mean, most guys want to do their best, and so, yeah. And then the week before, I would always call it my PMS week, because my wife would just look at me like, yeah.
I was just about to tell you, like most men in the world, they're looking at their wives and they have we have that monthly cycle, whatever, right? But my wife's a pilot, and when she goes to this training thing, it's the 1.5 month cycle. Every 9 months, I have to go through this major buildup to stress that she's almost in tears, where she's not thinking that she's going to lose her jobs. But here's my point to the thing that's really important: that the reason why you guys are getting so nervous is because you care and you really want to do well. I mean, that's why that level of anxiety is up there, is because the care level is so up high.
Yes. Agreed. And it's, you're doing it amongst your peers,
Sure.
Not only the guy you're working with, but the guy that's evaluating you. And, nobody likes check rides, and nobody likes a newness feeling in anything. But
this isn't 20 minutes though, John, right?
Oh, no,
I mean, this is 2 hour sims.
It's
right?
4 hours.
More? 4 hours.
4 hours.
Right, okay.
Minutes, yeah.
Could you imagine sitting in a simulator for 4 hours, throwing everything at you that they could possibly throw at you, and being evaluated on it? That's crazy. I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
And each time they do current event things too. So if things happen in the industry, they put those situations into those sims. So,
for instance, the Max issue,
right?
When the Max issues came out, boy, that completely got into our training.
Sure,
obviously,
sure.
And
we're going to kind of move this along here, because we are running out of time. Before we wrap this whole thing up, I want to do this rapid fire questions, and all you got to do is just answer it.
Okay.
So I didn't give you these notes.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. And when I kick Gary, I'm going to expect him to take you out at the end of it.
Yeah. So here it is. I'm going to throw them out to you. Turbulence or delays?
Annoying.
All you have to do, which one would you prefer, turbulence or delays?
Turbulence.
Early morning flights or red eyes?
Early morning.
Window seat or aisle as a passenger?
Aisle.
That's me too. I love that one. Yeah.
Right. Night flying or daytime flying?
Do you mean the whole flight?
Either way, night or day, flying in night or flying in night. I mean, we have flights that do both, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm indifferent as long as you take the all night segment thing out. But,
the overnight, the red eyes type of thing,
yeah.
Right? Gotcha. Worst passenger, crying baby or a guy clapping his hands when he land?
Oh, gee whiz. Sorry, grandkids, crying baby.
Crying baby, yeah. You got it. What's more dangerous, turbulence or someone reclining their seats into your knees?
Into the knee.
Into the knees.
Killing me, man.
What about this? This is your captain speaking, or hey, y'all, it's me again. Which is your vibe?
I never worked for Piedmont, so I'm kind of the first one.
And most stressful or more stressful, emergency landing or airport security line?
Airport security line.
Right.
Unlike G, who probably everybody would want to see him in his boxers. It's just the opposite over here. Yeah.
I'm with you too. Nobody wants to see me at all. And have you ever pretended to look busy so you didn't have the passenger talk to you?
Oh, that's a good question. No. No, because typically it's when you're the busiest that people want to come up and talk. The times where you got a lull.
We're in like a crunch situation. We're trying to get the plane out or whatever, and they want to come up and hey.
No, but in my case too. Once again, that's working amongst us,
sure,
our guys. Because in my case, the guys I was working with, I could always get away from what I was doing, and I knew they'd cover me. So exactly. Here it was just a little different.
Okay. One last one. Most powerful pilot move. Okay. Aviator sunglasses or walking slow to the gate?
Well, I never, being an ex-commuter, I never walked
slow.
Yeah, slow. So I would have no opinion on that one.
Gotcha. Well, John,
you could have thrown in big watch, right? It wasn't a big watch or the.
John, it's awesome having you on board on this podcast with us. So we really appreciate it.
I really enjoyed it. You guys do a great job. And I wanted to give you a shout out too, Sean. The other week we got to the privilege of attending an event with you, and
right.
I never knew you did the volunteer work you were doing. Not that I didn't think you were that type of guy, but it was like I had never heard of that organization, DBA.
DBA, yeah, Friends of DBA,
and boy, what a worthwhile cause. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where you get the time. I'm retired.
I don't know where sometimes I get the time either, because I always I got friends that push me into doing crazy stuff like this podcast. I got people that are asking me to like help them out in the foundations and stuff. And, but I still manage to do my own thing as well. And I'm always hustling, doing something.
Well, you guys are awesome. For anybody that listens to this, these two guys are just two of the greatest guys I ever got the privilege to work with. So
I
really appreciate that.
Well, you know how I feel about you, man. So, I mean, like I said, this guy sitting next to me is one of the best pilots I've ever flown with. Chris is still out there. I'm still flying with your ass here soon. So, and you're going to be coming in here next, Chrissy. So you're up next, buddy.
Hey, just before we leave, we're going to like touch on a couple current event things that happened. And John, please ring into this. But there was just the other day, there was an airline that had to divert because they were going from LA to Shanghai, and one of the pilots forgot their passport. All I got to say is like, you stupid ass.
Would you divert?
Well, it's one of those things obviously they got in contact with the company, and it's kind of at that point, if I had a choice, no. Yeah. Because the cost of that conversion, that diversion is incredible.
And I would just look for a bench in customs somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Just sitting there going, now wait till tomorrow.
I mean, worst case, the guy just stays on the plane and is sent home, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would think that would happen. I've never even heard of this.
You're like self-deported?
But I will tell you, that happened to me. This happened to me. They didn't turn the plane around, but I did a Cancun turn out of Cleveland, and I flew all the way there and flew back. And, I never got off the plane because we were just doing a turn, right? And I got coming back through customs, like right before we land, I was like, do I have my passport with me? And literally I didn't have it with me. It was like, it was a oh shit moment that you were just like, your heart jumps out of your chest and you're like, what's going to happen to me? And all you can hear, in your head is like, I'm going to be locked up in chains. And
rubber gloves coming for him, John.
Yeah. And he's trying to figure out, if it was my case, you go, well, who would bail me out?
It's like some big dude, some big guy with rubber gloves is coming after Sean now.
But you know what? This is right back to that whole thing about family and little base and everything, because I knew the agent that met the plane. My wife was close. She brought my passport. It was so non-big event, but yeah, anyways, but other things that's in the news too was Trump, man, is talking about banning 43 countries from travel. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys
see that? See it. No.
Yeah. Like he's had this new list. Now, some of them were like no-brainers, like, like Iran.
There's a tough ban, Sean, right there.
But they're doing this whole thing with he's talking about 41 countries that are going to do a flight ban. So, impact on airlines and stuff and all the different places that like our company does go to some of these places, and it's going to be wild. I just thought it was like very interesting, something to bring out.
Yeah, didn't see that one.
Yeah. And then the couple of things, did you see the couple that was arrested in Cancun?
Nope.
No, you didn't see that? Uh-uh. So they had a dispute. So this is a learning lesson for everybody. If you charge something on your credit card and you think there's some type of, wrong, you can dispute it, right? Well, this couple had charged their timeshare onto a credit card, and they disputed it through American Express, and American Express sided with them, and they gave them their money back. So they were traveling back and forth to Cancun. They had done it a couple of times. Well, this last time they went, authorities met them when they landed, put them in prison. And so now the timeshare company has gotten with the local authorities and said that they owe them $250,000 when it was only like $141,000. And so these 2 Americans are locked up down there.
Oh,
That's
boy.
crazy. Yeah.
Not the place to be in, right?
Right. You do not want to be in a freaking foreign prison. We've talked about that many, many times. But
Okay, one that just came off the wire I just seen, and this one was off the chain, man. So they had a new hire flight attendant. All right, 2-hour delay. You know what the delay was for?
No.
Supposedly, this new hire was traveling. You know how we non-rev travel, and he was on a plane, and he was playing with himself, Sean.
The flight attendant?
Well, he wasn't working it, but he was.
No, he was working it. That sounded like he was working it.
He was working something. That was it. That was something. But could you? I'm seriously. I was reading this. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So you're 1 month in. 1 month,
Dude.
What the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to do that anyway, but the 2-hour delay, 2-hour delay posted because he was doing that on the airplane.
He's playing with himself on the airplane.
On the airplane.
And so some pastor saw him or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get that deep into it, Sean.
I literally, this goes to, TikTok and all that stuff. I just saw this picture where they posted this flight attendant standing in the galley with another flight attendant. And this flight attendant this gal had reached back and put her hands down her pants.
That was nasty. That was like straight out nasty. Yeah, that was nasty.
Like, that is nasty. I'm like, and somebody was able to take a picture of her picking her ass.
In first class. Could you imagine? No, you ain't. I'm not taking nothing
Nasty,
to drink,
dude.
nothing to eat. Nope.
Nasty.
I'm good. I just take something that is that like a thing of pretzels that's closed.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit right there.
There was so much that went on this week, though. We don't have enough time to cover it, though, folks. Seriously, man, there was all kinds of crazy stuff that happened this week. But we'll have to wait till next week.
Next week. Anyway, let's wrap this up here with our famous quote here. And the quote is, the only validation you need is your own belief in yourself. Stop waiting for the right time. It's now. Your dreams are worth pursuing.
I like that one, especially because we were talking about from John and his career and, with flying. I really
thought
like
this
that
was
one.
apropos for the interview.
Yeah, it was. Hey, Sean, you did forget one thing, man. We forgot it last week, and we've got to cover it this week.
What was that?
We had a big download.
Oh, we had our first download.
53rd country.
53rd countries. Yeah, we are in 53 countries.
53.
Do you realize that?
Yeah, you know which one it was?
Who?
Uzbekistan.
Where?
Uzbekistan.
Shout out to Uzbekistan.
Where is Uzbekistan, Sean?
Hey, whoever's out there, drop us a line. Let us reach out. Say hi.
If you're paying attention in Uzbekistan, I would really like you to reach out. That one person that downloaded us, reach out.
Exactly.
Hey, guys, listen, again, John, it was great having you, man. I hope you come back.
Thanks.
I mean, we'll just sit around and bullshit sometime.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back with Chris.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
We will have to plan that out for sure. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Cabin Pressure. We will see you next week and see you then.
All right, guys. See you next week. Have a great week, guys. See you.
Thank you for listening to Cabin Pressure with Sean and G. We would like to ask any flight attendant that has crazy crew stories to contact us with your story so we can talk about it on Cabin Pressure. And if you'd like to be a guest on Cabin Pressure, email us at cpwithsg@gmail.com.